Check out the Thinking Out Loud Network at thinkingoutloudnetwork.com.
What's up, everybody? It is your sis and your friend Crystal Cross right here on the Morning Jam podcast. I am super excited to be here on this Zoom call. What is up, great co-host?
What is up? What's up, y'all? I'm doing 200 tonight. We are here with Mr. Smooth. Mr. Smooth. Telling you, come on now.
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
We got special guest, Sean Keys. What's up, Sean?
Man, I'm chilling, man. How y'all doing?
Nothing but blessed at best. Can't complain.
Can't complain. 200.
Listen, so we're going to go ahead and get started because I'm excited. Can't wait to get all of this knowledge, all of this great information from you, Sean. When I read your bio, I was just blown away.
Boom,
like that. And then the mic drop.
Wow.
I know what I did. I was like, Almighty God.
Oh, wow.
Can't go there just yet. But we're going to get started with Sean introducing himself. Tell us a little bit about who you are and where you're from.
Breakdown with the breakdown.
Yeah, well, my name is Sean Keys. Well, that's the name I use for my production. So that's my name I've used to, for marketing purposes. My name is Sean Willis. I was like my bio say, born Sean Willis, but I'm from a little town close to New Orleans called Kenner, Louisiana. So if anybody's ever flown into New Orleans International Airport, that's actually not New Orleans. That's Kenner.
Oh, okay.
That's where I'm from. That's not New Orleans. That's Kenner. So people that's from New Orleans get mad at me if I say I'm from New Orleans. So I say I'm from Kenner.
Oh,
really?
New Orleans, what's up with y'all?
But it's the greater New Orleans area.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So all of that is considered the greater New Orleans area. So yeah, I started playing when I was 5 years old. Never really took lessons to play. I started on drums and then I kind of gravitated towards the organ and piano and stuff. And man, God just kind of gave me a gift to do it. My mom and dad started kind of realizing that I may have the gift to play music, so they started investing into my gift and buying me little drum sets. And when I tear them up as a kid, they'll buy me another one. And and I never forget my dad took me to a music store when I started playing keys and bought me my first professional keyboard. And I started playing in church and traveling around. Once I got in college, started traveling around with different gospel artists and stuff like that. And from that kind of actually made me kind of get used to the whole production side of things by hanging out in studios and watching it being done. And then they started asking my input and what I felt should go into the records and stuff like that. And I kind of fell in love with it. And like, man, I think I can kind of do this.
Why they do that? They just stirred your spirit up. Just stirred it all the way.
Yeah, down here, we eat gumbo. So, they kind of put everything in the pot, just kind of started stirring it for me.
Made you perfect. You became perfect.
The magic was happening. So let's go back for just a second. Just for a second, I'm going to cut you off if you don't mind.
No, that's fine.
In what all you were saying, telling us about starting off at 5 years old, parents, I'm sure raised you in church, all of that greatness, all that goodness. Yep. So in the midst of it, is it better for someone to learn by ear or to know the, reading of?
I'm going to say it's two sides because I actually learned how to play by ear. But I do think you really need to have the foundation of knowing music so that you're not ignorant to music and you can talk music with those that know music theory. So I actually say you need a little bit of both. I think that the plus though to playing by ear is that a lot of things that are spelled out on sheet music are not necessarily what you hear in the records.
Okay.
Because sometimes those things can't really be charted out, so to speak, or they can't really be scored out, so to speak, because it's some things are just certain, like it's a feel, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like some things you really can't. So I think it's better. Well, I can't say it's better, but I think you have to have both. But I think it's a little bit of an advantage to be able to play by ear as well.
Cool. That's cool. But we're already jumping into knowing who you are, getting a little bit, and knowing, like, starting if we're gonna better by ear or reading the music.
Mm-hmm.
But we are in a new year, and also 2020. Someone I read on Facebook saying that 2020 should be a new cuss word. What do you think about that, Sean?
Man, let me tell you. Let me tell you.
That's gonna be a new saying.
Listen, and I'm gonna be very transparent here. As a person that actually contracted the virus very, very early on, before
Oh, wow.
I mean, actually, when everything was breaking, that it was happening. So you can imagine a person getting this thing and not really knowing what's going on, and hearing all of this doom and gloom on the news.
Yeah.
What's happening? You like, man, is this it?
Because at the beginning, they made it seem like there was no hope.
Right.
They was like, you gonna die. You get
exactly.
You
know,
That's
but
it.
when I started doing my own research and I started seeing that, hey, more people are recovering from this than are dying from this.
Exactly.
And even though I'm not in the shape I used to be, I'm still a pretty healthy guy. And I started doing research and I started seeing that other people were really and then the thing that really helped me is that God really took care of me during that time.
Yes.
Like 5-6 days, I was back to normal me, no hospitalization, minimal symptoms.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah. So, I mean, I had the whole can't taste, can't smell, the cough and all of that kind of stuff.
You had just about all of it.
Yeah, but thank God I didn't have the breathing issues and all of that.
Yeah.
So, but to answer your question though, honestly, man, God has really been amazing to me in 2020. My wife and I were just talking about this yesterday. I was like, man, God really kind of took care of us in 2020, man. Like,
yes.
It's like, especially career-wise for me, when I thought that, man, 2020 is going to shut this thing down. I'm going to have to start picking up stuff, now in 2021. And, man, and it's like, God just started, I'm going to show you, I'm just going to start sending work after work after work after work, accolade after accolade after accolade, number one records, things like that. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, man, and it's just, it makes it that much sweeter that, he did that for little old me, even in a pandemic. So
would there be anything in 2020 that you would change?
Honestly, no, I wouldn't change anything because, I think I know that everything happens for a reason, and whether it's good or bad, it's to either teach us, or it's to strengthen us, or it's for us to just glorify God even more, because of what He's done or what He's getting ready to do. So
that's
man,
awesome.
I wouldn't change anything, man, at all.
Grace, you got a question?
I know, right? Mr. Smooth, man, you have been a mystery man to me. There has been three people that come to me. It's like, I'm gonna introduce you to this dude, man. His name is Sean Keys. And so when Crystal said that we were going to interview you, I was like, I wonder who this mystery person is, because he acting like he already like $1 million and just over it.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Everybody ain't able. I'm just like, who is this mystery person? And you know what? Once I read your bio, it humbled. It's just humbling because when God can take your youth, 5 years old, and make you into, how old are you now?
I'm 45 now, actually.
And make you, and yes.
Because, people black don't crack.
Hey, you should see my dad. You would be like, oh my God. But and then 40 years later, here you are, and how humbling is it, to become this producing powerhouse.
It's crazy because I look at my journey to getting to here, and all of the times that I could have been really discouraged and given up, just like I ain't doing it no more. And I'm not even. I'm gonna be transparent. I said it a couple times. Man, I'm done with this. I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure all of us have been there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because of the support I have around me, and people have been telling me, man, you better not quit. You can't quit. Like, you can't quit. No. And I'm just, I'm just grateful to God to see, the process. And now I can help. And I've been making that a responsibility of mine, given to myself, that I'm going to try to pour into young producers and, just encourage them, man, look, I can tell you when the phone wasn't ringing. I can tell you, when I was sitting there, feel like I was twiddling thumbs and wasting years, on things that didn't, bear any fruit, didn't come to fruition. And I'm like, man, what is going on? Am I spinning my wheels? And then I look now like, man, you know what? That was all for what's going on now. It was honing in my skills and honing in my skills and learning how to do this. And, so, I mean, it is very humbling to see this little kid growing up in Kenner, Louisiana, playing at his godfather's church. It's an interesting story. Let me digress for a second and tell you about that too. Maybe 2 blocks from my home was my godfather's the pastor of a church. Matter of fact, he's still the pastor of that church, Cypress Grove Baptist Church in Kenner, Louisiana. That's where I really got my musical start. I started playing drums first, and then I gravitated over to playing organ. Well, something very interesting happened one Sunday, and the musicians were there. They were reliable. They were there every week, never late, always on time. And it just so happens this one particular week, we had a female organist for one of the choirs. She had a flat. She had a blowout. She couldn't make it. So the deacons recognized that, I was the kid that was sitting on the front bench, like staring at the drummer and staring at the organist. And the deacons would let me sit on the bench by them because it was behind the organ. So I would sit there and just watch. So the deacons were like, hey, man, that little kid that's always sitting, let him play. And I literally got on the organ and played for the entire service.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah, and that's kind of how God just, started me,
doing
Is it hard to play the organ than just the keys? Is it hard for that?
It is a little bit different. It's a different approach because there are bass pedals that are incorporated.
Yeah.
So not only just playing chords, like on a piano and somebody's holding out a bass, you're literally playing chords. You're playing bass. Some people, choose to play chords and play little lead lines and stuff like that. So I think it actually helped, if we want to get technical, with the dexterity that I had from playing, because when I was traveling on the road, I was known for having several boards doing different things at different times. So I think that was, but to go back to your question though, man, it's super humbling to see that kid that started out like that and where I am now, man. It's really mind blowing. I'm like, wow, it just really just turned my faith up on 200 now. I was like, man,
I know, right?
God, you can do whatever, man. Look, I don't despise any small beginnings, because man, it could be this today and that tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah. And
That's
it's
awesome.
funny. Last night I was watching. Did anybody watch the Roy Jones Mike Tyson fight?
Yep,
I didn't watch it. No.
Okay, you should have. You missed it. It was amazing. Roy Jones. Hey, Sean, do you agree? If they would have let them have their way, Tyson would have killed old Roy.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It was horrible. You wouldn't have liked him last night because he was like,
really?
Oh yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Glowing like, oh my God, can we please can this be over with? Yeah.
Now, to finish what I was saying, because we have to, we got to detour a little bit sometimes. But okay, if you watch the interviews after, when they asked Mike Tyson about failure, it took him to a whole nother place where he was like nervous to even say the word failure. And it was because he's like, I never thought of myself as failing. He's like, only thing I kept in my mind is win. He's like, I never even allowed failure to really even taint him. You know what I mean? To even taint the thought of who he was. And even though in our eyes, he failed in a lot of areas because, he bit old dude ear off. We like, oh, come on, Mike. Come on, man. Hannibal Lecter was a movie. It's not real. We don't do anything in real life.
Right.
But, how do you, Sean, Mr. Smooth, failure through these years from 5 to now, do the failures empower you, or do they? Okay.
Absolutely. And let me not seem like I'm robotic and I don't have to, because failure to an extent. This is how I take it. When I fail, because everybody fails, I give myself maybe a few hours or maybe even a day. Let me just get it out. Okay, man, dang, that didn't work. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. But the next day, it's a fresh day. We got new mercies. Let's go get it. Let me learn from what happened.
Yes.
This is what not to do, Sean. So now, when I get back into the situation, I know what to do. Okay, good. I learned from so yeah, failures. They're gonna hit you sometimes. You be like, man, I can't believe it. But you got to take those things and learn from them. Okay, what did I do last time that I know I probably shouldn't do this time, because that was maybe the reason why I failed? Or if you don't know why you failed, you just pick up and be like, okay, let me just try it again.
I tried that. Let's move it on. Let's keep it moving.
Let's keep it moving.
Yes.
And I think that's why I've been successful, because there have been a lot of times where it didn't work out, and I had to be like, look, either you're going to sit here and just be like, pick it up and keep going, so I'm going to pick it up and keep going kind of guy,
Awesome.
What's next?
That's great.
Yeah.
So I want to know, like, you have worked with some powerhouse vocals. Keke Wyatt, Isabel Davis. Keke I'm a huge fan of hers because her range, oh my God, is out of this world. The young lady, however you want to, is amazing. Yeah. I listen to her all the time and trying to hit her notes. I'd be like, Chrissy, you didn't do it. But how was it like working with these powerhouses?
Yeah, man, it was crazy. So let me tell you about the whole Keke Wyatt situation. It was crazy how it came about, because I don't know if y'all remember the reality TV show that was out some years ago, R&B Divas, right? They spent it off into R&B Divas, Hollywood R&B Divas, whatever, Atlanta, whatever. But the first one, it was the first one. The first one, R&B Divas, the original one, was Keke Wyatt, Monifa, Faith Evans, Johnson, I can't remember.
There was a few more. I used to watch it all the time.
So what happened was they were filming and they needed a band, because they were coming to New Orleans to do Essence Fest, because they were doing the whole tribute to Whitney and some people that had passed away that year and everything. So I got called to do the gig, and it was crazy because we got the chance to actually spend time with them in rehearsals and talking to them and stuff like that. And so I got a chance to work with all of those ladies, and man, when I tell you, phenomenal, it's crazy. And we actually, the performance was so good, we made like top 10 performances of Essence Weekend or something like that.
Wow, that's great.
Crazy. Yeah, it was really, really dope situation. And they were really down to earth. We were cool. We were hanging out with them backstage. They were like we were family. It was like, man, that's our band. We know this, so it was really cool, man, to work with.
Yeah. So in that, so was there ever a part that you were like, okay, y'all, or even nervous to say, let me put my input, y'all need to change this, or go a little pitch higher up on this? Was there ever a time?
No, because I wasn't really in a production role. I wasn't in a producing role. I was actually playing auxiliary keys in the band. So we didn't really get a chance to share any input, but we did have the show already kind of mapped out, and it was kind of already pre-done before they got there. And when they got there, we were kind of just running through it. We had I think 3 or 4 rehearsals with them, but man, it was cool.
But in that, Sean, in your producing, has there ever been a time where you wanted to talk to an artist and be like, hey, you really need to, or you just held back from it? Because I know if a good producer is what I'm looking at, is going to be like, hey,
let me tell you something. Listen. You can't ever be to the point where you're afraid to tell an artist something, because here's the thing, it's never about you personally or the artist personally, it's about the record. So it's about the song being its best. So if no, to answer your question, no, I've never been reserved or not want to tell. Look, if you ask any artist I've worked with, they'd be like, Sean is hard on singers. I am hard on singers. I will tell, man, I told an artist one time, I'm like, hey, come out of the booth. When you're ready to sing, you can go back in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But
you know what? That, for me, I think that's really great, though, because you want a solid song if you're doing that single to be right. And hey.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. She appreciated it later. She was probably a little mad with me at that point.
Yeah.
But after, when she got back in there and she started killing it, and she saw what I was telling her was right. Because a lot of times, production and music is a lot about trust.
Yeah.
And it's like initially you got to kind of break the ice, and you got to kind of, even in the stage of as much as God has allowed me to do, sometimes people still don't fully, trust you, because especially if an artist is the person that wrote the record. So it's kind of like they baby. And it's like, you kind of trying to think you want to do with my baby. Yeah, but I got a bunch of these. This might be your first one. So I know what to do with this to make sure you don't have an ugly baby. You understand? so nobody thinks their baby ugly. But I mean, but sometimes, and I'm talking in musical terms. But when she went back in and she killed it, she was like, man, thank you, because I couldn't release this like this. And then I'm always thinking, hey, my name is going on this.
I know, right?
And God has allowed me to set a standard. So it's like I don't want you looking bad, but I don't want me looking bad either. So we gotta make sure we do this the best we possibly can. Yes. So that when it's done, you don't say, man, I wish I would have done. And I say, man, I wish I would have done. No, we can't do that. We're not done until we can say, I love it.
Sean, what is the one thing that a song has to have to be solid?
Yeah, I think the first thing is that the writing has to be spot on.
Yeah.
The writing definitely has to be spot on, and then the music has to be, catchy, just not to the point where it's just, it's too much for the consumer to actually take in.
Yeah.
And then you have to have the right singers, the song, the backgrounds have to be strong, they have to be, have to be able to sing well. And I think, even more so than that, there's got to be the right engineer that knows how to record everything well and capture everything well.
Yeah.
You got to have the right mixing engineer and the right mastering engineer and the right producer, of course. So I think those are the elements, that make up a great song. It has to be, to make up a solid song. It has to have strong lyrics, and all the other team members have to be great as well.
Have you ever produced anyone that sang all the background vocals as well?
You know what? I've had people that have asked me to do that, but I kind of try to steer them away from that, because my thing is that a lot of times artists want to come in the studio and pretty much kind of knock it out in a day. So I try to do it well where I have them only focus on their leads. They don't have to worry about singing the backgrounds and things like that. Unless the song is that kind of song. If we're doing a really urban-y type record and
you're trying to have it solid, Grace. Have it solid. So don't try to sing all the background, okay?
Right. You know what I'm saying?
I will.
Yeah, I mean, I just, and I'm not saying it's wrong. I mean, whatever's, good for you. But personally, in my productions, I usually have my crew of background singers come in, and the artist can just focus on singing leads.
Do you feel like a song is not a song without a good hook?
Oh, no, definitely not. I mean, I call songs like that run-on sentences.
Okay.
They just go and go and go and go and go and go. And it's crazy because a lot of times, a lot of the records that I do, the artist will send me a voice note to my phone. And a lot of times I'm saying, hey, if you write, send me your ideas. If you want to do something that, you feel like you've kind of written, let me know. And they'll send it. And if you could hear some of the stuff that's in this phone, and no shot to them, they know, because they say, look, that's why I'm coming to you, because I need you to, help me write this. I need you to help me arrange this. And shout out to my guy, Adolphus Scott in North Carolina. He does a lot of the majority of my vocal arrangement and some of the lyric writing on the records that I do. But yeah, without that strong hook, it's not a song, because that's what people tend to sing when they hear the song. You know, they're not gonna remember the verses. They're not gonna remember the bridge, but that hook, they're gonna.
Yes.
So what's up now with everybody? You know, it used to be like this long, drawn out song. Everything is like repetitive, and it still sounds really good. So what do you think about that, Sean?
I think the thing is, everybody is targeting radio now. So it's like, you know, and they're seeing that if a song doesn't have this kind of structure, that radio tends to kind of shun away from it. They won't play it. So I think a lot of people, and then another thing is that a lot of people want records that people can sing in church.
Yeah.
So I think that's why a lot of people try to stay in that vein. Me personally, I try to just do whatever's best for the song. You know, like I'm working on an EP for an artist right now, and you know, my approach this time is that, you know, I'm not doing anything, you know, that's going to be just, you know, like this as far as the time is, you know, I got to keep it this thing for radio, this amount of time for radio, because we can go back and do the radio edits later.
Right.
But we're just getting into a flow of the music and just letting the record tell us how long the song needs to be. So, but when you're doing a single, generally that, you know, that's why you get that, you know, that, okay, this is going to be this many times and we're going to repeat this and then we're going to do this part. We may not have a bridge. We may go straight to the vamp, you know, that kind of thing. I think that's why a lot of that is happening. And I'm with that, as well as it being organic and letting the song just, you know, flow. You know, now I'm not trying to do a 20-minute song or a 10-minute song. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, yeah.
So if like an independent artist comes to you, what should they ask a producer? What should they ask you?
Well, the first thing, and I love working with independent artists, because, like I said on another interview I did some time ago, that I love being in the beginning stages of something.
Yeah.
That foundational thing for somebody just starting out, because it's that much more special. But what you should have is, first of all, when you send me an email or an inbox message on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, make sure you have something that I can hear of yours. So if you already have released music, like, send me the links to that. Or if you haven't released music, you haven't done this before, have some video of you singing, or have at least an MP3 of you singing, so I can hear what you sound like, you know, to see if it's even a good fit for us to work. You know, and then from there, say, hey, you know, I don't write, or, you know, I do write. I need some help with a song to shape it, you know, that kind of thing. So I think, and also talk about your goals. What do you want to achieve with this record? Do you just out, you know, or you want something to try to go to radio with? So that way, the more information I have, I'll know exactly how to approach what we're doing.
Yeah. And I hear that you say it has to fit with you as well.
Yeah.
So you're just not gonna take on anybody.
Yeah.
So if I sound like, oh, come let.
Stop it, Drizella. Stop it.
Come over here.
Stop it, Drizella.
Come over here.
You know, and it's crazy, because I haven't had that happen yet. You know, which
that's a blessing.
But I do know how to handle it should that come about.
Very professionally.
There have been some artists that are not the greatest vocally, but that's why I want to see you in your element and see you sing and hear you, you know, to see what are your strengths, and I can pull that. Okay, I know she does that well. I know he can do this well. Okay, so when we do, you know, get together and do a record, okay, I know that he can do this very well. So we're gonna try to shape this record around that.
Right,
She struggles with this, So let's try to stay over here, So I, so and
So I hope you don't think I sing like that. That was just an example.
Yes, she does. No,
I do not sing like that. I am a soprano, and I cover my soprano area just fine. I don't let anybody else sing my soprano.
Come on,
Gracie
soprano.
trying to hit it. By the way, Sean, this is my biological sister, my baby sister, Gracie.
Oh, come on, sisters. All right.
So that's what I was going to ask you too, Sean. Me and my baby sister sing in a group. So that's why I was asking you, how should we approach you? And she's an independent artist as well. How should we approach you about? And of course, we've done music. We've recorded. So that's one reason I was asking about that. But also for the ones that's going to be listening and tuning in to the Morning Gem podcast. So before we go any further, I want to send out a huge thank you to Waveworks Studios, allowing your sister and your friend to come in and be a part of the family. Thank you, G-Wade. You are the bomb. You're the man. Also, Channel 49 TV network.com. My show is going to be airing on there every Monday, dropping at 9 a.m. You guys are blessed. They're out of Miami, Florida.
Yes.
I'm blessed and highly favored. Yes. But Grace, did you have any questions for Sean?
Yes. Okay, so how come you haven't accepted my friend request on Facebook?
Wait, hold on. No, see, hold on. I got you right now.
Well, why are you looking at that, Sean? Look at.
I'm not done.
Oh, she's not done. Grace, I apologize, Grace. I have so many. And a lot of times when I get on Facebook, I get on just to post.
Yeah, he saw your friend and had to follow me, okay?
Right. I never even go into that side of Facebook. I'm just usually get on post, get off, and that's usually how I am with social media. I'm going to post something, get off, and then so my apologies. I will accept it right now.
Thank you. I think I've sent you like maybe 3 or 4.
Really?
5 or 9.
Oh no! See, don't
10 or 20. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so social media is now like the ultimate platform.
Yes. Yep.
How are you using social media?
I actually think social media really drives the music industry now.
Mm-hmm.
It's first of all, and any independent artist. I'm often told I give way too much information for what I do, but I just feel like, with me, when you work with me, I'm a one-stop shop because I'm gonna tell you, or I'm gonna kind of give you advice on what to do from giddy up to whoa. So from us starting the process of doing a record, I even get involved in. My wife always tells me, like, man, come on, you getting way too involved in the situation. But even as far as like your photo shoot, what you should be doing, like,
right?
Your photographer should hear this record because then they're gonna know how to shoot you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
And your name is on it, Sean.
And that's always my reply.
Yeah, because
on this too. So even with the cover, like, okay, look, I can connect you with a graphics person who I know is not going to use clip art on your stuff, and it just look because here's the reason why I'm like that about that. What's the first thing people see before they listen to your record? They're gonna look at the cover.
I was gonna say they see,
they're gonna look at the cover and they're gonna have a preconceived idea of what it sounds like before they even. I have seen some of the greatest songs never get listened to because the cover wasn't right.
Oh,
yeah.
The cover wasn't right, and people that don't have the time to explore that are moving at fast pace, like radio, they don't have time, and they see, oh man, I already know what this sounds like, and they could be dead wrong.
Yeah,
but look at that cover, and they're like, I know what this sounds like. Next one.
Right.
And so yeah, social media is huge. So with that, when you post things out on social media, they see that cover, people are like, oh, I'm gonna go listen to that. Man, that cover is banging.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, so I use it, to promote what I'm doing, promote the artists I'm working with, whether they're just getting started or whether they're stellar award winning, Grammy award winning, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great, social media is a great thing that's driving the music industry right now, because there are a lot of record companies that when they look for artists, they're going on social media. They're gonna be like, okay, how many followers she got? She got 5,000 followers.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. Because they're
and that's what I do for my show. I go right to social media. If I want to look up an independent artist, hey, I'm going there. I'm going to listen to their song, look at the cover, and if the cover don't look right, oh, okay, that cover ain't all that. Let me go on. And that's what I do too. Hey,
it's no judgment. You know, it's no judgment on anybody, but
it just is what it is.
Right, you're taken more seriously if you take the whole process serious. Like you can have, like I said before, you can have the bangingest, and I'm making a word, the bangingest record in the world, man. But if every facet of it ain't right, you may not even get to listen. People may not even listen. They're like, okay, I'm gonna move on to something else. But your record could be amazing.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Did you accept my friend request?
I'm looking for it right now, as a matter of fact.
It's Grace Whitaker Melton.
Let me see, Grace. Let me see if I can find you here. There's so many of them in here. Oh my gosh. See, that just goes to show you, I promise. Look.
It's Grace Whitaker Melton. Sean.
Okay, I will definitely connect to you too.
I'm like, Sean, come on.
Right now, I promise. I promise I'm gonna accept it. I'm looking for it right now.
Just look at the little microscope right there at your right hand top corner.
But I'm trying to
and you hit Grace.
There it is. Here we go.
Great job.
There it is. Gotcha.
And also, like with social social media being that major platform, so many independent artists feel like they don't need, contracts or, they probably just need a few people, and then they keep all of the rest of it to themselves. So do you ever feel like social media sometimes cut into what you're doing, or is it like a level playing field?
No, I think social media is what it is. As far as it contracts, you mean like as far as getting signed and things like that?
And producing music, because now there's kids in the back in the garage producing like sweet stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they're like, you can listen and people are like, what studio did you go? Dude, I did that in my garage. So a lot of that is going on right now because of COVID. Nobody wants to go into the studios and all that stuff. There's a lot of things. And I was watching Jonathan McReynolds. He was in a hotel room. Dude had a towel over his head, and I'm just like, wait a minute. That's cutting into somebody else's, money if you going into hotel rooms, putting a towel over your head and you getting that good sound too. Yeah. So do you feel like it's cutting into the producing kind of, or you feel like it's?
No, I think it kind of is what it is. It's not really, because I feel like, who I'm supposed to work with, I'm gonna be working with that particular person. Excuse me. There are some people that just may not have the budget, so they have to do other things. Right. And these companies, the software companies have made it a lot easier to do it. The whole process without going through getting a producer and studios and things like that. But the thing with those things is that you really have to know what you're doing. Because later on down the line, when you get to the mixing phase or the mastering phase, those things will tell on you if you do it right. Now, you got some people out there that just, like you said, they got some kids that just got the gift for it. They just know what to do. And it sounds great. And they mixing their own stuff. And they're mastering their own stuff. And it just sounds great. But I don't really think it's cutting in to what I'm doing because.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because, there's still those people that love going to a studio, that love going into that booth. They're feeling it. That's where they connect to. And,
and people that don't want to do it all themselves. They're like, man, look, I just want to sing.
Or don't know how.
Everybody else do everything else. I just want I don't want to be the engineer and I'm pushing on the computer and I'm running to the mic and putting a towel over my head and trying to sing and then running back and stop it. Oh, I got to do another take. Okay, let me do that again. You know, some people that don't want to do that. They want to just focus on just singing. I let everybody else do everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
Sean, did you ever watch that guy that was on Facebook? He was a Caucasian guy and he's doing One More Time.
No,
did you watch that guy? I'm gonna have to
send
send it to you, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to send it to you. That dude was producing all of it. Then he was getting down. He was like, oh, yeah. I'm gonna send it to you.
Miss that one.
Yes, you have to listen to it. He's getting down, boy. I'm like, come on, one man band.
There is a lot of that out there, the one-man band stuff that just really ain't working for a lot of people.
Yeah,
I know, right?
You know. Yeah,
So, John, who is the top producer out here now in the streets?
Oh man, I guess it depends on what genre. I would like to think that I'm one of the top.
Oh,
yeah.
You know, I would like to think. I mean, and Billboard kind of solidified that for me a few months ago when and honestly, I kid you not, I had no idea that there was even a chart for the top 10 producers for certain genres. And a few months ago, a friend of mine from my hometown of Kenner posted something on his Facebook and he tagged me. He's like, man, it's just so great to see my brother, Sean Key, number 8 on the top 10 producers on Billboard, right under Kanye, right on top of Kurt Franklin. And I'm like, me? So it's crazy. So I went to Billboard and I looked at the chart and there my name was. And I was like,
awesome.
So, you know, it's crazy, man. You know, so I guess you know, God has allowed me.
Yes, you one of the top 10. One of the top 10, Sean.
Exactly.
When we're like that, we just really have to embrace. Just take it in.
Yeah.
Embrace it, because God wouldn't have given it to us starting you off at 5 years and you working so hard to get where you are today.
Yeah.
I know 2020 has been like a blessing for you. 2021, whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Looking for bigger and better. So what's next for Sean Keys in 2021?
Man,
I can answer that. Wait, I can answer that.
What?
Nothing but grace. Hallelujah.
Hey.
Won't he do it? We speak it. Hallelujah. Come on, lift your hands and receive it, brothers and sisters.
Right now.
Hallelujah. Right now.
Yes.
And it is so.
Hey, yes, it is so. And look, I really, and see, it's crazy. I always set myself up. Well, I don't want to say I set myself up, but I always try to top what I did the year before.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because, man, God is really going to have to do it because he really showed out in 2020. You know, I was talking my last session of 2020, my last BGV session was sometime in November of 2020, and I was talking to my BGV singers. I was like, "Yo, man, we done some records this year." He's like, "Oh my God, yeah!" And we couldn't even count them all. We were like, "Yeah, we did." We started naming them, and we started forgetting certain ones. And I was like, oh, "Yeah, we did do that. Oh, we did this one." You know, and then some that have yet to be released. That's going to be released this year of 2021. So, man, so like 2021, you know, I'm just asking God to just, you know, give me as much as he want to give me this year.
That's it.
You know, I mean, if it means doubling what I did, you know, and, you know, I mean, you know, hey, I'm ready for it. So bigger and better in 2021.
Yes. Listen, Sean, I remember I was listening to you recording the drummer, John, and he was killing it. And I was like, dang, Sean, okay, this is where the new Crystal single is coming.
Come on.
Like, come on.
Let's do it. Yes, indeed. Absolutely. Yeah,
I am like, when I saw, I was like, man, he is blessed beyond measure. He don't even see it.
Yeah.
But maybe you do see it. And
you know, the thing with me is that, you know, it's crazy because in church, and this is so, I heard a preacher say this once before, and it stuck with me, like just really stuck with me. In church, we've always been taught to try to downplay compliments and try to down.
Yes. Come on.
Oh, glory to God. And yes, it is. But God has also given you these gifts. And so I heard a preacher preach that it's okay to say thank you. Man, God really helped me to be great at this. And so, it's still a work in progress, because anybody that knows me knows that there's not a conceited bone in my body. Like,
right.
I'm the humble guy in the back. I don't even want you to say my name sometimes, but he's moving me out of that to be like, hey, man, you can boast on what I'm doing through you. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, sometimes social media, man, it's crazy. Tasha Cobbs posted something last year, 2020. I can't remember exactly what money was, but when I'm telling you, it kind of just hit home with everybody in the industry that struggles with not wanting to really show your accolades. She was coming home from vacation, and her Stellar Awards showed up at the house. So her assistant was opening them up, and Tasha said, hey, take a few pictures of these for me, and before I put them in the case, in the trophy case. And she said she said something that she had to immediately stop. She said, go ahead and take these pictures, but I'm probably not gonna post them anyway. So her assistant was like, why wouldn't you post these?
Right.
She was like, you know what? Why wouldn't I post these? But a lot of times we spend time worried about who we're gonna offend,
right,
because of what God is doing in our life. And her statement was, I am not responsible for your feelings because of what God is doing in my life.
Exactly.
That was a drop of the mic.
What'd you say?
Right there.
So from that day forward, I stopped hiding the things that God did. And people get sick of me posting it. I'm sorry. It's God doing.
It was that time to say, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, and when God blessed me to have my first #1 single on Billboard, I don't know if everybody saw the live. I went live on Facebook, but I struggled with even doing that. But that was prior to what Tasha had said, But I actually, crazy thing, I posted in my stories, when I got the box of my plaque, I posted on my stories, hey, should I do a live unboxing? And then I thought later, why am I asking people if I should
do it?
I'm going to just do it. I'm happy that God allowed me to do this. Not everybody gets to have a #1 record.
Yeah,
and I know what I've been through from age 5 to now in this music. So I'm going to be godly proud of what he's allowed me to do, without being conceited and without being, having a big head about it.
But we mistake that, just kind of like what you said. We mistake that, I'm going to be humble because I want God to bless me some more. But that ain't even it. That ain't even it.
I want you to boast on what he's doing for you.
That's it.
Keep it in perspective. Hey, God did this for me. God used me to do this. I did this. I'm the man. No, not that.
No, exactly.
When you just share, hey, God allowed me to do this. God, blessed me to be able to be. He gave me a gift to be creative, to make music. You know what I'm saying? And I'm honored that he allowed me to get a #1 record. I mean, I'm getting better with it, and that little post from Tasha Cobbs helped me a whole lot. And it did a lot of other things. Like, I even saw John P. post something after that, because he said John P. he is a pioneer.
Exactly.
Right. And he struggled with it too. He was like, he probably got 40,000 awards, and later that day he posted a picture of the trophy case of like the hundreds of Stellas he's got. I I use that as
we are showing what God is able to do. That's what all it is. Just show what God is able to, and a lot of people need to see that, because they are afraid to let it out due to what worries of what other people might say or do. So
that people syndrome, man.
I'm so glad God is delivering me. I ain't gonna say I'm delivered all the way, but delivering me from opinion. Because, and I think that's anybody, that really has a heart for God and want to do this for the right reason. I think everybody kind of struggles with that. What people think, and what people are gonna say. But you have to kind of get delivered from that, man. Like, look, people gonna talk about you if you're doing good or if you're doing bad. It doesn't matter.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So just do what you do, and and just let the chips fall where they may. But I'm so grateful, man, just to be in this I am now.
So Sean, what would you say to someone that's maybe a teenager or an adult that's trying to reach where you are today?
I would say just make sure you study everything that you possibly can to perfect your craft.
Right.
Make sure you're ready before you launch out. A lot of people may say, well, I don't have the finances to go to a Full Sail university, which is like the music university and different things like that. There's a thing on everybody's devices called YouTube. Call it YouTube University.
Come on.
Everything you want to learn about anything is on there. And honestly, that's how, even at the stage I am now, there's some things I forgot how to do such and such on Pro Tools. I forgot how to do this on Logic, or I forgot how to do this on this other software. I'll go to YouTube and be like, hey, how do you do such and such? And there's the videos. So I think that you should do that. Like, hone in your skills, study, find somebody to sit under, to learn from, to mentor you. And that's crazy. That's something I didn't have. I wished I would have had. I had people that I looked up to, but they were, out of reach for me as far as being in other cities and states and things like that. But, and because of, when I came up in a time, it was kind of like very competitive. Like people didn't really know too much because, they think you're going to take their spot, that kind of thing. But get you somebody that you can partner with and sit under and learn, and then when you're ready to what my engineer that I use all the time, my friend Reggie Nicholas, always says, have your face in the place. Be there,
right,
in the thick of it, seeing what's happening and how challenges are being solved, or what happens when you get somebody that may not be the best singer. How does he approach this? What does he do? Or how does he put the right group of singers together to make this record be? So get under somebody and just pray. I know that's like the cliche thing, but yeah, man, prayer is the key to everything. Pray and ask for the right situations to come along. And so you don't feel like you're spinning your wheels, because I've been in those too. So
that is so awesome. That's awesome. And right here on the Morning Jam podcast, which is Sissy and your friend Crystal Cross, y'all guys, with the co-host Grace Melton.
My Facebook friend Grace Melton. My new Facebook friend.
Yes. I finally solved the mystery. Who's the mystery person?
Yes, our special guest on the Morning Jam podcast, Mr. Sean Keys, a.k.a. Mr. Smooth, a.k.a. Mystery Man.
That's it.
We appreciate you, Sean. Can you let the people know where they can find you and connect with you?
Sure. So on Instagram, my handle is The Smoothest, DASMOOTHEST. On Facebook is Sean Keys. My actual production business page is Smooth Tunes Productions. And on Twitter, it's Smooth Tunes Pride. Now, let me say something about all that real quick, because I know that you're supposed to keep all of your handles the same, but they weren't available, so I had to go.
Right. Right.
Grace, let the people know where they can connect with you, sis.
What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Grace. You can find me on Facebook under Grace Whitaker Melton, Instagram, Grace Whitaker Melton, Facebook, Grace Whitaker Melton. And you know what else? You can also, if you want to get a hold of me, booking, anything like that, you can go under Graceful Sounds 7 at gmail.com. Then if you need some little inspiration, women needed lifting up, loved on, I'm here for you. You can go to Facebook, be a part of our Positive Girls page, where we're helping nurses, we're helping mothers, we're helping single moms, we're helping anyone that needs help. If you guys want to give into that ministry, please find me. I'm on Cash App, Gracefully 17. That's all you got to do. And you will be donating to a marvelous cause. Right now, we're getting ready to stuff backpacks for nurses. So if you guys want to give into that ministry, please do, because they're on the front lines every day fighting for our families. And that's all. Hey, I'm a busy girl. Also, I'm a solo artist. If you want me to come, invite me. Hey, let's do this. Yeah. Let's do this. Next time, hopefully you'll be seeing me in 2021 with the great producer, Sean Keys.
Let's work.
Right? That's awesome. Right here with your sister and your friend, Crystal Cross. You can connect with me on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, Crystal Cross, Crystal A. Cross. You guys connect with me. Normally, I have the poofy, blonde, curly hair, but, we had to whack her off, get her all done. But you guys can connect with me. Also, connect with me in the groups under Heart to Heart. Fantastic show that's going to be airing pretty soon. Also, group under the Morning Jam podcast, under Facebook as well. Also, A2 Fashion. So if you need a makeup artist, Sean, tell your wife. I know you got events going.
Oh, look,
makeup artist right here.
I see your makeup work, man. Look, I've been checking you out. You're a beast with it. I see it.
Well, thank you, guys. So thank you all. And we want to say to you, Sean, from me and Grace, Happy New Year! Welcome in 2021.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Peace out, y'all. Much love to you, Sean. We'll
appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
Bye.
Peace.
Check out the Thinking Out Loud Network at thinkingoutloudnetwork.com.